Hi guys, Pam from the Woolly Dragon again, doing an update. I got more seeds, this time Baker Creek. I have this tendency, even when I think I'm done buying seeds for the spring, to go back and look through either the catalog once again or the website or both, which I did both. And there are a few things that caught my eye that I think they caught my eye earlier when I was going through stuff, but I thought, nah, I'll be good, not get the stuff I really don't need. But I made another order, and it just arrived. So I ended up getting 5 more packs of seeds and a freebie, which I love. And they got a new thing I didn't get last time, but it's a little thing that says, "Smile, you've got seeds." For those of you who remember the old days of, "You've got mail." What was that, Yahoo? I don't even remember. But let's see, what was my freebie? My freebie was actually something I can use. But, we'll see. So it's a red lettuce called Merlot. And I'm guessing it's a leaf lettuce. Yeah, cut and come again. All right, good. So we'll add this to the repertoire. Add a little color to my diet, my salads. Maybe get some more vitamins. You never know. And let's see. The rest of these I think are like flowers / herbs. But I went ahead. I saw on a couple of people's YouTube channels, Jess at Roots and Refuge and Gardner Scott. He's in Colorado. They were talking about this variety of tomatoes called Thorburn's Terra-Cotta, which looked pretty to me. And I went to, if you go to Baker Creek, I can make my sounds, go and read through the comments underneath all the seeds that you may be interested in, and see if you can see comments from people in your area, so you have kind of maybe possibly an idea of how well it'll do. I heard, there were comments of not so great, and other people, this was the second coming of, tomato in the world of tomatoes. But it's definitely an heirloom. It was introduced in 1893, so 130 years ago. So it's still around. So I'm going to give it a try because it looked cool. In the picture they've got on the pack, it doesn't look quite as cool as the pictures I've seen online and things like that, but we'll see. I'm always for interesting because you can see kind of like the seed cavity looks kind of like a little greenish, but it looked kind of, it's a little less orange tomato, so you give it a try, you see if it works. It could very well be that it's one of those tomatoes kind of like Cherokee purple and all that kind of stuff, and dry and complete blank. Never mind. Heirloom tomatoes. Some of them really, really taste good, but productivity doesn't go very well. But we'll give this a try because you just never know. And then what did I get? Wallflowers. I have heard my entire life about wallflowers, and I did not realize that's kind of what they look like. Siberian Wallflower. Perennial, phlox-like flower clusters, fragrant and colorful. And if I remember correctly, this was a beet plant. So, and I like the orange because I live in Tennessee. I'm an alumni of the University of Tennessee. Colors are orange and white. Go Vols. We'll get them next year. So we'll see. Plus the fact that they are perennial. I kind of like plants that I plant and I don't really have to do it over and over again. No, don't get me wrong. I like my annuals too. But I really do like plants that I can just throw into the ground and I put them in different areas of my garden just in case, you know, even though it may say on the packet that they'll like full sun, my full sun may be different from what they consider to be full sun. So I try and move it around different places. But we'll see. Let's see, I've got to cold stratify the seeds for 30 days. Gotta look that up. Do I throw the whole packet in the refrigerator for a month, or do I put the seed tray out in the, because it's not going to be cold. I'll have to look this up. Help me. Anyone knows what they're talking about? Help me. And I saw a version of bee balm called Moldavian Dragonhead. I thought that's weird. This is an annual from Eurasia. And it's got the minty leaves, minty lemony leaves, large flowers, bees. It makes nice herbal teas. And does it say? I'm thinking this is one of those ones that reseeds itself, so it may come back on its own, even though it's an annual. We'll wait and see. So I just liked, you know, woolly dragon, dragonhead. You know me and dragon stuff. So Moldavian Dragonhead balm. I don't know, it looks almost, it kind of looks like a snapdragon. Are snapdragons and balms related? I got a different, another kind of salvia. This one's called Amore purple, or Amore purple, if you really want to be Italian about it. Let's see what this guy. Great for pollinators. Dun, dun, dun. Does it say if it's an annual? Because some salvias are annual, some salvias are very tender perennials that may or may not come back depending on kind of winter you have. And some are perennial. So, gotta look that one up. And then, even though I have catnip all over my garden, that self-seeded itself basically, I went ahead and bought some catmint instead of catnip, catmint, which is basically the same family. This one's called Dark Blue Panther. It's evidently a Japanese variety. It's perennial. And I just really like those blue. Most of the cat, I've grown catmint before, and it was kind of iffy about whether it came back or not. Catnip, I don't have to worry about. Even if, you know, half the clumps die back in bad winter or something like that, the ones that survive are going to more than make up for that lack. So, so from what I'm reading from this little thing, catmint is catnip's more hoity-toity cousin. Evidently, it's not as tolerant to poor soils and tough like catnip is. So we'll see. But it is supposed to be a perennial in zones 4 through 9. Compact and tidy, which that's a good thing because catnip, it ain't tidy. It sprawls all over the place. Bushy, colorful, mounding plant. All right. So I'll go look these up, find out about plantings. Obviously, the tomatoes won't be planted quite yet. I'm going to be planting seeds for some flowers, I hope. If I can make my way downstairs into the basement and get the tray of seed starting soil that I had started a couple days ago, and then we got a really, really hard freeze, and I kind of got detoured. It was 18 degrees Fahrenheit last night. General Beauregard Lee lied to me. He said that winter in the South was over. And he lied. Dang rodent. But, so see which of these plants I need to get seeded along with the ones I have. I've got some that I need to get my one bed that's around my little crabapple seedling that I bought and planted last spring. So I'm gonna sprinkle out some more wildflower type seeds, some poppies, and some other stuff. I'll let you know. But it worked last year. I got both kinds of poppies that I had seeds for. They came back, or they grew. Didn't get a lot of them, even though I threw out a lot of seeds, I thought. So I'm going to hope and assume that some of the seeds that dropped from the flowers that I got are going to start sprouting and growing, but we'll just see. But last year was the first year that I've actually been able to grow poppies, so I was kind of jazzed about that. Poppies in my area, I've tried growing them inside, growing the seeds inside and then transplanting outside. Those usually dry up and went away. I'm thinking mostly because there went the Canadian geese right past my window. That's kind of startling. What was I saying? Oh, poppies. So I've tried several different times over the years to grow poppies last year. So we'll see if the seeds that were dropped last year come back, but we'll go ahead and sprout some more. I think I've got, where did those go? Where did those go? When you think you have a handle on life and you really don't, what did I put it with? They were just here. Okay, those are the ones I have to plant inside. Those are the ones I just got. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. When I find out, I'll let you know. But, yeah. So just going to try and do some wildflowers kind of around the base of some of the fruit trees I've got in the front. I've got one apple tree that I planted from a grafted tree that I actually grafted myself, except I don't know what kind it is because the writing on the tag that I so carefully put on there wore off. So it'll be a mystery tree. Luckily, I do have it limited to one of 4 kinds of apples on one of 2 kinds of rootstocks I got last year. But I'm hoping it's the Arkansas Black. I'm kind of hoping that the Arkansas Black is one of those ones that I planted. I've got another one that I need to get planted that grew, and then I've got 2 rootstocks that didn't take last year that I'm hoping to get some scion wood of Wolf River apples from a friend, if he remembers. I asked him several weeks ago, and if he's like me, he'll forget, so I may have to nudge him again and say, yo, when can I come get those? I've also got a pear rootstock that did not graft from a couple years ago that I want to get. I want to get a different kind. I've been trying to graft from my parents' Kiefer pear. Their poor old Kiefer pear. I planted that thing before I moved away from Tennessee. So that was like at least 10 years ago, if not more. No, it's way more. Probably 20. Yeah, I moved in 2005. Didn't come back till 2015. Yeah. So going on 20 years then. And this is one of those pear trees that they didn't prune it often enough. And it's one of those things that grew straight up. It's like 40 feet high. And Obviously not on dwarf rootstock that I thought it was on. So, yeah, that's another lesson. That's another lesson, boys and girls. Don't ever trust when they say it's dwarf or something like that. Now, I'm hoping most of the mistakes that ever get incurred are honest mistakes, but there are sometimes then I think that they just kind of, here, take what we give you. And that was mean. Anyway, so I took a dark turn, didn't it? But yeah, so I've got the pear rootstock that I'm hoping to get some scion wood from their kefir pear so I can at least get that going and have a more manageable tree for us to get kefirs, because they are pretty good little pears. We have been able to get some pears. Most of them are way too high up for us to get to. Last year, however, we had someone come and take care of the problem for us. A big old black bear climbing up in the tree and eating the pears. It's good to feed the wildlife. Maybe it'll keep it away from the garbage cans, but it's still a little disconcerting to look out one's front door and see a big old black bear sitting in your pear tree. Isn't that a partridge in a black bear in a pear tree? It works. Yeah, I know. Don't quit my day job. So this is a very long seed haul video for only 6 packs of seeds. And we'll see if we can edit some of them. I probably won't, because, you know, this is part of my charm, or at least as far as I know. But I want to go ahead and show you some of the seedlings that are coming up. Update on the plum seedlings. I have mimosa seedlings. Mimosa trees. I know most people think mimosas are just weed trees and don't want them anywhere near their house. But I like them. And so I went over to my parents' house and went out in the woods and found some seed pods. It was back in, I guess, November or so. Went out and found some, 3 or 4 seed pods and collected the seeds from them and put those in the refrigerator in the produce drawer until a couple weeks ago. And I went ahead and planted them, and I've got a couple of them coming up. And my dragon fruit seedlings are coming up. I've got like 12 or so dragon fruit seedlings coming up, and it's just like, of all the ones that I was really betting on, which is weird because it was another one that was like, 10 days after I planted it, and the seed pack said 2 to 6 months that it would take for them to germinate. So I don't know if the seed pack was wrong or I misunderstood what the seed pack says, but it said 2 to 6 months for germination. So I'll go and reread it. Did I keep it? I may not have kept it. Oh well. Anyway, so yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know how I'm going to be able to have 12 dragon fruits in my house over the winter. So this experimental gardening just is weird. It's like the stuff that I'm kind of rooting for doesn't happen. The stuff that I don't really care about, it happens. So I guess I'll have to just start having a je ne sais quoi air about me when I'm planting anything. Yes, I don't care if these dahlias come back. I really do. I like my dahlias. But yep, so let me go ahead and get set up for checking out the seedlings, and then hopefully we can make this under a half-an-hour video, but I know you've missed me. Okay, absolutely nothing from my pawpaws. That they've only been going for 10 days or so. Did I write down there? The 19th, so 12. So yeah, 2 weeks now, okay. But nothing. Yep. Yeah, to go look up and see how long it takes pawpaws. Oh, by the way, it takes the seeds for planting outside were the poppies, cornflowers, and a flower called mignonette, which is supposed to be another bee plant. So finally found them. Walked right by it about 10 times, of course. Okay, so this was the flat with the onions, the shallots, and the green onions. So everyone's coming up. And this was that flat of Italy onion that wasn't doing so well. Last video I showed onions, but there seems to be good. There just don't seem to be as many. It could very well be I just didn't plant as many seeds. The shallots over there, the 2 green onions over here. And then there's my little dragon fruit babies. So 4 in that one, 5 in that one, 8. So 16 plants. So I'm going to be looking up how to grow dragon fruit. Okay, the sound you're about to hear in this next clip is Miss Pearl. She can't help it. She's got an upper respiratory thing. She's had it since I've had her for well over a year and a half now. Sorry for the grossness. All right, so this is my mostly, these 2 in the middle are empty. That's for just space. This is my little tray with the coffee plant seeds, which I'm guessing the 2 to 6 month germination period may be more appropriate than the dragon fruit instructions were. This tray behind it is the mystery seeds that I thought were blueberries. It could have been grapes, but they didn't act like grapes. And I do have a little seedling coming up, but I think that's just a weed seed. So I'm just going to let it go. These 2 are empty, and then these 2 trays are my mimosas. So we've got this little guy here came up first, and this little guy starting to come up and start shedding his little seed thingy. So I keep this tray in on the heating mat and then cover it. I usually have it covered with the humidity dome, especially at nighttime. And I'll put the dragon fruit under it just to keep it kind of a little bit warmer at nighttime. So we'll see how they do. Okay, real quick, again, my tippy toes here. So here we have the seedling. There's 1 seedling, 2 seedlings, 4 seedlings total of the plum seeds that are coming up. Seem to be doing okay. I finally determined I had 3 fig cuttings in this pot, and it looks like this one's the only one that's actually gonna do anything. And then I've got the one who's been going crazy all winter long. So crossing my fingers that I have 2 Celeste figs. This one is also Celeste fig cuttings, but they just really look like nothing. So I'm just leaving it here just to be on the safe side. And then the usual Meyer lemon seedlings that are doing very well. My phenomenal lavender cutting and my 3 ARP rosemary cuttings still doing fine. I'm thinking all my rosemaries that were planted outside, they're all gone. They're all dead. I'm just going to leave them there until spring, just in case there's a faint hope that some of the roots survived and they'll start coming up from the base. But yeah, let's turn this the right way. I did this last time. I'm probably drove some of you crazy. Sorry. And we've got the mulberry seedlings, cuttings in the same room. They're pretty much the same. The dwarf mulberries and the forsythia root cuttings are actually down in the basement, and I actually had them outside a couple of nights to catch some rain and things like that. Brought them inside day before yesterday. So Friday, not Friday, but Thursday. Brought them in Thursday evening. Put them inside so they wouldn't, because we were going to have a couple of frost, including last night that got down really, really cold. I haven't been able to get downstairs there quite yet to find out how they're doing. I'm crossing my fingers that it was warm enough down in the basement that they did okay, but we shall see. And then there's Miss Pearl, sounding like death warmed over. Say hello, Miss Pearl. Pearl. Hi. Oh, nice snot. Oh, and a hair. Look, you have snot and hairballs. Excellent. I ordered some new seed starting trays, and they got here a couple of days ago. And I'm thinking I like them. They're smaller than regular trays. I think these are like maybe 7 by 14 or something like that. So smaller than the usual seed trays. And then they come with these little, I think these are 2.5-inch square pots. So not very tall, but I thought these guys would be good for doing, I'm going to be doing my seeding of my earlier flowers in these guys. So I got a total of 10 of these. They're all together, so I can't separate them, which I'm kind of okay with, because usually when that happens, they start getting more damaged than if they stay together. And they come with the humidity file. I got these at Amazon. I want to say they were 10 for $20-ish. So not too, not as cheap as the larger regular size like that, but my usual repertoire of the 11 by 22 trays, some of them are starting to get really beat down, and I thought maybe if I can do smaller trays, it'll be a little bit easier for me to carry around, A, and B, not get carried away and have 5 million kajillion onion seeds like that. So I'll let you know how it goes. They also sent, which I thought was very nice of them, this little dipper for making the holes in your potting soil to put your seeds in. And then I'm guessing this is either to kill vampires or to kind of pull out seedlings from the soil. I'll have to study on that. And is that a little spade or something like that? Barbie's pitchfork. We'll see what it works. But I'm kind of excited about this little dipper. Looks like you can have both ends. This is the more, and it's got, does it have inches on the side? It's got something written on the side, but of course I can't see. So I'm going to say that's 2 inches. Not bad. All right, something else to have fun with. Okay, guys, so that's this week's installment. Hope everyone's doing well. This is, I forgot to tell you, this is Saturday, February 4th. And so I should have a video out before Valentine's Day, but just in case I don't, happy Valentine's Day. Don't eat too much candy. I got my little thing of Dove dark chocolate thingies. That's enough for me for Valentine's Day. But if any of y'all want to send me chocolate, seeds, young hunky men, the thing. But until next time, everyone have a great one. Stay warm for those of you who are not in Florida or California right now. And we'll see what next week brings. Bye.